Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Here's the extended version. So Coinbase is having major problems. They can't seem to be in the news with anything good. And they did have good news over the past couple of days. It's just that, yikes. DOJ investigating them, and now the SEC, after listing 9 coins they believe are actually securities, they're launching an official investigation into Coinbase. Coinbase is catching it from all sides. Remember, last night I also gave you some news about how shareholders could be current shareholders can be diluted over the past layoffs that just happened. What, 18% of the people? Go look at last night's extra video and you'll see what I'm talking about. FTX Ventures and Jump Crypto dropping major money as they lead the Series A round of funding for Aptos Labs. Now, Aptos Labs is actually kind of special. Why? Because it's comprised of a lot of former employees of Meta. Remember, Meta spent almost $10 billion, or about $10 billion, trying to do a lot of different things in the crypto space and failed at most of them. So these people left and created Aptos Labs. That's going to be big. That's going to be really big. In a time where people are saying venture capital firms are starting to wean off of the whole Web3 craze, I think that's going to come back. Honestly, there's too much going on. There's too much going on in the metaverse and other Web3 technologies for them to stay away for too long. But raising $150 million in this kind of environment, bringing their total to about 350 mil, hat tip to that team. Like, wow. Looking at the upcoming Ethereum merge, as you might suspect, that's going to leave a lot of scaling solutions, Ethereum scaling solutions, kind of in a bad place. Not Polygon, not Optimism, not Arbitrum. All three of them have seen huge market gains. But other layer twos are going to have major problems, and what they're saying they're calling it the layer 2 war. Dynamo DeFi. This guy Patrick said, listen, there's a lot going on in the DeFi space, and in DeFi space as well as layer 2 space. There are a lot of companies that are going to be, not positioned well. So I'm expecting that in these wars, obviously, you're going to see shakeout. I think the 3 that I named earlier, I think they're going to be perfectly fine. I mean, look at Polygon. They're in the Disney Accelerator program. The sandbox is moving completely over. They just launched ZK EVM, which is supposed to scale and give speeds, almost comparable to Visa. So they're positioned well. Optimism seems to be positioned well, and so does Arbitrum. But other players, like I said, might have issues as they move forward. So that's going to be a very telling time. And I think you should be doing your own research so you can understand which ones to invest in and which ones to not. XP, big move. And I think this is going to be the kind of move that you're going to see going forward from traditional banks for a long time. You're going to see traditional banks start to transition over into centralized exchange space, as well as you're going to see centralized exchanges start to consolidate or just straight up go out of business. Why is that? Well, XP, Brazil's largest brokerage firm, is saying, we're going to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading on our platform, and we're going to introduce, and actually that's going to start in August, and they're going to introduce more coins as time goes on. Now that's a brokerage. That's a traditional brokerage. Do you see how that's kind of getting into centralized crypto space? You see that? Do you see how some centralized exchanges are having problems? Hello, Coinbase. ZipMex is having problems. BitThumb is in talks to be bought out by FTX. You're seeing a consolidation. But just because there's a consolidation doesn't mean that there's not going to be competition. There's going to be tons of competition. As I said, traditional financial firms, banks, brokerages, you're going to see them offer more and more crypto services. Why? Because that's what they're going to have to do to survive. Period. So start to look at, what banks are positioned well with regard to liquidity, access to capital, standing in the marketplace. because not only would that possibly lead to a crypto play, but it could also lead to a stock play if you play your cards right. Right? That's kind of a big deal. That's a very, very big deal. The fear and greed index right now happens to be, it fell. It's at 26 now. A few days ago, it's 34. We're inching closer to extreme fear. We're still in fear, but that's pretty close to extreme fear. As I told you before, we could definitely see a dip. Is that dip permanent? No. Right? I definitely don't think it's permanent, especially when you see the expansion of services from various different companies, especially when you start to look at, well, what's the roadmap for a lot of the things that we're interested in? You've been given one company, Polygon, one company. We're not even talking about the rest of the protocols that are out there, just one. When you look at Polygon, they just joined Disney's accelerator program. What do you think is going to come from that? More good news over time, right? So the future is not going to be down here in a dip. It's going to be up here in a boom. So when I look at that, I'm kind of like, yeah, gonna buy. I told you Sunday that this week is going to be a serious buy week for me. This is why. You have the U.S. economy that's kind of giving mixed signals, companies missing forecasts, beating forecasts. You have companies that are beating on the top line, missing on the bottom line. You have a lot of red out there, a lot of red. To me, that's a lot of opportunity. So looking at the cryptoverse, I'm looking at who's doing what, where, and how. Shiba Inu out of nowhere, cutting a deal with the third floor. Are you serious? That's a no joke, animation studio. That's a no joke special effects studio. And they are ridiculously busy. Yeah, they work with Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah, that's big. So when you see projects like that are doing things, positivity has got to be front of mind. Okay, front of mind. When I look at DeFi Llama and I see, well, we were in the mid 80s. Now we're dipping down. We're in the low 80s in terms of, TVL. I told you there are things coming in this space, in the DeFi space, that are going to be big. They're going to be big. You're going to have game changers with regard to metaverse plays. They're going to have DeFi impacts. You're going to have new services with regard to DeFi impacts. You're going to have totally new things that are going on. As a matter of fact, you know what I did? I started staking Polygon, but the way I did it was I went straight to Polygon. I went straight to Polygon and said, how do I stake? And staked some of my Polygon, some of my Matic shares. Pretty cool. Because I don't plan on selling anytime soon, and it's liquid. I can get it back whenever I want. But for me, I sat there and I said, yeah, if I'm going to hold it, I might as well put it to use. Might as well. So that's what I'm doing, putting it to use. Just saying. I mean, I'm looking at 10% gain over the next 365 days. Do I plan on dipping it, getting rid of it in 365 days? Nah. So why not get the free money? I'm not staking all of my money. And there is a risk that I could lose my money. Right? But that's the game I'm playing right now, staking, but directly with Polygon. You can see the numbers here that, precipitously markets have fallen, but look at where they are now. So it looks like they fell and they kept falling. If you look at the right-hand side of my screen, you can see where the plus sign, I'm showing you that they have fallen, but have we hit a bottom? Not sure yet. Bitcoin is back within my inner band. It had been playing around above in between the high points of my inner band and lower band, right? Or outer band. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is, or it makes me curious, doesn't bother me, makes me curious. You see the fall of Bitcoin, you see the fall of ETH. Just a couple of weeks ago, Ethereum was less than $1,000. Look where it is. So although it's taken a big hit, look at where it is. That to me says something. Look at where Bitcoin is, taking a big hit, but look at where it is. I'll be concerned, not concerned, I'll probably just spend more money if Bitcoin were to go into the 20s or even below. Again, that number that I'd be looking for is 17.6. That's the number I would be looking at. I don't think we're anywhere near there right now. We could be. But I think as things start to take form, take shape, I think one of the things that we're going to see is we're going to see more people stay home as summertime winds down. And the reason why, not for nothing, monkeypox. Monkeypox is not quite a pandemic, but it is a global concern right now. So take care of yourselves. But that means to me that people are going to be staying home and doing things at home. That means to me that things like going to movie theaters are going to go revert back to people watching movies at home, which says to me that you're going to see more movies be released or move to streaming faster. Okay, that is going to have a big play as different metaverses continue to take off. Really, that's going to have an impact. Meeting with your friends, still having fun, meeting in a metaverse to watch a movie. Sit there, look to your right, look to your left, see your friends sitting there with you, yapping the way you do in the movie theaters, listening to the applause when the movie makers aren't there. These are all things that, we hate but we love. And I think that's going to have an impact going forward. If you want to see the list, you can see nobody is doing well right now. I mean, you see spots of green, but that's green over the past hour. That doesn't count. When you look at the past 24 hours, you're seeing major hits. Look at Polygon taking almost a 9% hit. These are big deals. But it's taking a hit. It's at 75. It's taking a hit after coming from the 40s. So just saying. These are opportunities. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know every single time I drop a new video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.